Oh, hello, people of Story Stock. This is me, A F Harrold, poet and author, author of books that I wrote and poet of poems that I wrote. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you a few poems, share you a few poems, because it may be that you have run out of poems at home. You went to the supermarket and somebody else had bought all the poems before you, and there weren't any poems left, and you had to go in with some crisps instead. Well, let me stock you up with some poems. I'm going to read a few from this book here, Things You Find in a Poet's Beard, written by me, A F Harrold, illustrated by my chum Chris Riddell there. Lovely picture of me on the front, a lovely picture of me on the back. Here are three poems to keep you going. Okay, the first poem is going to be the one that I start with. Then the second poem will be the one in the middle, and the third poem will be the last one I read. So here's the first poem to start you off. This is called Not the Best Poem in the World. So let's not get above ourselves, eh? Not the best poem in the world. If my imaginative powers were stronger, this poem would probably be longer. So the next poem I'm going to read is on a different page. This poem is about it's about a snake who tried to learn to play the piano. A snake who tried to learn to play the piano. It's called A Nice Tune, page 45. When Sydney the snake decided to take piano lessons, they lasted seconds. Headbutting the keys didn't please Mrs. Hosanna, who owned the piano. She slammed the lid, which did for Sid. So that's a poem in which a snake gets chopped in half by a piano lid. I apologise if that's a bit weird for you. I'm going to end up with a perfectly normal poem here. This poem is about breakfast, right? Breakfast is a good thing. In the old days, you probably used to have breakfast and then go off to school, quite a lot of you. And now you're probably having breakfast and then going, oh, I'll go to school. Oh, no, I can't go to school. I've got to do this. Oh, no. What should I do? I'll just have another breakfast. I imagine some of you are probably these days getting through 5 or 6 breakfasts just to fill in the time between breakfast and lunch. And if you're having that many breakfasts, they can get quite dangerous because you're opening yourself up to more opportunities for wild animals to get you. And this poem is designed to keep you a little bit safer. It's called The Perils of Breakfast, page 38. Here we go. Watch out for bears in your cornflakes. Bears are dangerous. Bears have got big claws. Bears are always hungry. At breakfast time, doubly so. If you lift a spoonful of cornflakes up to your mouth and it's got a bear hiding in it, well, you'll be in trouble then, won't you? Eaten up just like that. Gobble, gobble, crunch. Excuse me. Fortunately, bears are larger than cornflakes, and so it's usually possible to spot a bit of fur poking around the edge. If you do spot a bit of fur poking around the edge of the cornflake in the spoonful of cornflakes you lifted up to put into your mouth after your breakfast, and just put the spoon down. Step away and have something else for your breakfast instead. But watch out for crocodiles in your porridge, and watch out for tigers under the toast. So, young people of Story Stock, that poem had 3 warnings in there. It warned you about the bears that might be hidden where, about the crocodiles that could be lurking in your, and the tigers that might be disguised as underneath. Yeah. So maybe have a little think about what other dangerous wild animals might be at the breakfast table waiting to pounce. Where are they hiding? How can you spot them beforehand? What's the best way of keeping yourself safe from them if you do spot them? Have a think about those things. Share the ideas with your friends, with your parents. Write a little poem yourself, maybe. The day your sister got eaten by a shark in her sausage roll. Does your sister have sausage rolls for breakfast? Lucky. Okay, Story Stock. I've been A F Harrold, poet, author. Thank you very much for listening. Remember, keep safe, keep washing your hands, and we'll see you on the other side of all this. 2021, rock on. Brrr.